The main problem about authoritarianism is that it causes instability in the country, and instability causes unsustainability. So unsustainability is the major problem in Turkish system today. If you look at Turkish economy, so you see today 3% growth with 5% current account deficit and 10% unemployment. This is not sustainable. Any macroeconomist would say that the numbers talk. I mean, this is not sustainable. It should be fixed at this point. And 5% current account deficit happened just because of low oil prices today. It was 8, 9, 10% a couple of years ago when the growth was like 7, 8%. So this is a very alarming factor. So when you look at the security situation, probably that's the major issue today, because we see a major terror attack organized by the Kurdish terrorism or the Islamist terrorism in the country almost every month. So every month Turkey loses people to terrorism. And it's a security vulnerability created by the government because of foreign policy decisions, because of some polarization in the country, but also it shows some institutional weakness, so vulnerabilities in the security and intelligence operations. That's a major factor. So it's not sustainable for any government to face such a loss every month on a regular basis. The foreign policy is another factor. Turkey has significant political and foreign diplomatic problems with Russia, with all the major actors in the region: Russia, Iran, Iraq, Syria. It seems like things are okay with European Union, but United States, but there are major differences in the values and principles that we can, I will talk a little bit about it in a bit. So foreign policy is not sustainable. Turkey is the losing part in all the conflicts in the Middle East. The politics is not sustainable. Turkey is deeply polarized as a society. This is the major national security threat today. So even in light of this is very saddening for any Turkish citizen, no matter which party you are voting. If there's a major terrorist attack happens in Turkey, people start blaming each other. This is sad. I mean, for any, if anything that unites the country, it should be a common pain or common tragic event. So those tragic events, even you don't unite the people. And I will say, always, the person at the top of the political system is responsible for that, because he is using a polarizing language, divisive language, the opposition towards the opposition. He uses very arrogant words, and anyone who decides in independent, even Supreme Court was targeted as betrayals and systemic problems with the Constitution, the Supreme Court, and they betrayed the country because they didn't really follow the will of the public. So this is a major national security threat. I mean, the unsustainability in all these fronts impose that there will be a political or systemic change in the country. So when and if you look at now, the elections are just over, and we don't have any elections in the country until 2019. And in 2019, there are 3 elections scheduled: presidential, parliamentary, and local elections. Basically, the whole political system will drastically change starting in 2019. And there's nothing on the horizon this 3 years. But as a person, I'm just looking at now all these vulnerabilities: economy, security, foreign policy. How you will sustain this system 3 years? Then I'm having significant question marks or concerns about the survival of the republic, survival of the state, because you cannot sustain the country if you cannot sustain the main pillars, namely economy, security, and politics. So this is very worrisome.